When T publicly called out 50 Cent for a Verzuz, the hip-hop world leaned in. Fans expected bars, performances, and a clash that could shake the internet. But 50 Cent did what he has always done best. He flipped the script entirely. Instead of stepping into the booth or posting a diss, he shared an old Crime Stoppers video with a simple, chilling message: "Keep my name out your mouth." Just like that, the conversation shifted. Suddenly, it wasn't about songs, hits, or who would dominate the stage. It was about legacy, street codes, and who truly controls the narrative in hip-hop. T.I. came in confident, catalog in hand, ready to prove himself through performance and skill. 50 Cent, however, reminded everyone that influence isn't always about music. It's about strategy, timing, and perception. In a single move, he turned fans' debates from a musical showdown into a discussion about power, control, and respect. This wasn't avoidance, this was mastery. A Verzuz challenge became secondary. The real story: how two legends from the same era approach legacy in completely different ways. And who really dictates the rules of the game. When T called out 50 Cent for a Verzuz, it wasn't just a challenge, it was a statement, a declaration that his catalog and stage presence deserved recognition. T approached the idea with confidence, grounded in decades of work in the Southern hip-hop scene. He wasn't looking for drama, he was looking for acknowledgement of his contribution to culture and the music that shaped a generation. Fans instantly leaned in, expecting a clash of titans, a head-to-head comparison of hits, verses, and performances. But 50 Cent had no intention of playing by those rules throughout his career. Curtis Jackson has understood that power in hip-hop isn't always about who has the loudest verse or the biggest hit. It's about timing, perception, and narrative control. When T floated the idea, he respected the platform, the notion that 20 songs could tell a story and allow audiences to judge mastery. But for 50 Cent, the moment represented risk, a chance to be evaluated on a stage not of his choosing, with a format that didn't serve his strategy. Instead of responding with music, he shifted the conversation with a single move, posting an old Crime Stoppers clip and a brief message telling T to keep his name out of his mouth. Social media erupted immediately. The focus was no longer on who could perform better or which catalog was stronger. The debate turned to history, legacy, authority, and the boundaries that artists navigate in public perception. T continued to speak about performance, K catalog, and respect, acknowledging other musicians, citing influences, and recognizing the value of the platform. His approach was rooted in showcasing artistry, letting the work speak while standing before the audience with confidence. 50 Cent's approach was rooted in disruption. By refusing to participate musically, he maintained control over the narrative. He reminded everyone that attention could be manipulated, controversy created, K perception steered without ever rapping a single bar. Fans were forced to debate intentions, motives, and strategy rather than records. The discussion grew beyond who would win in a hypothetical Verzuz. It became a lesson in the evolution of power in hip-hop, demonstrating how seasoned artists navigate influence, strategy, and legacy simultaneously. T.I.'s call-out highlighted his commitment to performance and consistency, while 50 Cent's response highlighted a philosophy that places authority and narrative above the traditional measures of musical comparison. The tension between these approaches sparked cultural debate, not just about songs, but about how hip-hop defines success, influence, and the moments that matter. The audience realized quickly that this wasn't a typical challenge. It was a study in contrasting philosophies of legacy. One rooted in performance and public display, the other in subtle control and strategic disruption. Fans dissected every move, comparing career trajectories, catalog influence, and the different ways artists assert dominance over their era. The interplay between the two perspectives became the story itself, surpassing the hypothetical battle. It showed how influence operates differently across generations and personalities, and set the stage for further discussion about what truly matters in hip-hop: legacy, performance, or control. Is The conversation unfolded online. Fans began to analyze every nuance of 50 Cent's response and T.I.'s stance. The focus shifted from a musical battle to a deeper understanding of power and perception in hip-hop. T remained steadfast, discussing catalog, stage performance, and the idea of legacy measured through consistency and hits. He wanted the audience to judge based on skill and body of work, while 50 Cent quietly demonstrated that sometimes the real victory lies in control over the discussion itself. Social media erupted with speculation, debates, and conflicting opinions. Some saw 50 Cent's move as avoidance. Others recognized it as strategic mastery. The Crime Stoppers clip was a calculated disruption, redirecting attention from music to conversation, forcing fans to debate intentions, respect, and cultural codes rather than who had the better verse. Suddenly, the discussion was about history, influence, and boundaries in hip-hop rather than 20 songs or crowd reactions. TIs.com. Measured responses contrasted sharply with 50 Cent's disruption. He didn't engage in insults or escalate the situation. He maintained focus on his art and career trajectory. This contrast highlighted two approaches to legacy: one that proves itself repeatedly through performance, and another that preserves dominance through strategy and perception. The audience began to recognize that in modern hip-hop, the arena isn't always the stage or the microphone. It can be social media, narratives, and timing. Artists like 50 Cent have mastered the ability to provoke discussion, create attention, and maintain relevance without physically competing. This moment underscored a shift in hip-hop where perception, leverage, and timing can outweigh performance alone, while T's approach reinforced the power of catalog and live engagement. 50 Cent reminded everyone that influence is measured by control over the story. The hypothetical Verzuz became almost secondary, serving as a backdrop for a broader discussion about about the evolution of power, attention, and legacy in hip-hop, showing how the legends from the same era navigate the game in entirely different ways. By the time the dust settled, it was clear that the Verzuz challenge itself had become almost irrelevant. What mattered was the philosophy behind each artist's choice. T demonstrated confidence in his catalog, consistency, and willingness to compete, showing that legacy can be proven through performance and public engagement. 50 Cent, on the other hand, reinforced a different model of power, one based on strategy, narrative control, and knowing when to step back. His single post shifted the focus from music to influence, forcing the culture to debate intention, respect, and authority rather than counting songs or hits. The moment became a lesson in how hip-hop operates beyond records, demonstrating that relevance is not only measured by albums or stage presence, but also by perception and timing. Fans began to understand that avoiding a direct confrontation wasn't cowardice or disrespect, was a calculated move to preserve dominance and control over legacy. T maintained his integrity by continuing to focus on music and projects, reaffirming his dedication to performance and catalog. 50 Cent's disruption highlighted that some victories are psychological, manipulating attention and conversation rather than battling on stage. In the end, both artists retained their status and reinforced their respective philosophies. The story became less about who would win and more about how do legends from the same era navigate power, attention, and legacy in completely different ways, leaving the culture to debate the broader meaning of success in hip-hop. If you think 50 Cent made the right move by avoiding the Verzuz and protecting his legacy? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let us know why. And if you believe T's challenge was valid and the music should have decided everything, share your opinion too. Who do you think would have won if this Verzuz actually happened? Like the video if you enjoy real hip-hop breakdowns and cultural analysis. Make sure to subscribe to The Hype Spill for more deep dives into hip-hop history, industry power moves, and the untold stories behind the culture. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss the next breakdown.